So, hello, it's Sheila, and today, rather than looking at Advent gifts, I'm going to be looking at the Deco crate and what was inside this month's mystery crate, which I'm quite excited about. So, I'll just give you a glimpse. I've pulled out all the boxes from the crate, which is that attractive steam crate, kind of steam trunk that you see there. One of the items wasn't in a box, so that's not there at the moment, but you can see all these inviting boxes there waiting to be unpacked, and I'm going to come back in a moment when I have actually unpacked them all. So before I res out everything, I thought I'd just highlight that I thought these two boxes were cute enough to be used as deco in their own right. The Schultz Brothers one is on the right, and it's one land impact. It's like a little doll's house, and if you were taking a picture, you would lose that hover text. Click me to unpack. And the Ariskea is also one land impact, and it's just a couple of boxes with a little note saying thank you. But it's still quite cute decor if you wanted just an assorted jumble of presents under a tree. Okay, so I'll move on to do some resing, and I think I'll just duplicate this platform. Okay, so here they all are in my inventory, and I got a glimpse of what some of them were as the included pictures emerged, but I've tried not to get too much of an idea because it's nice to have the surprise as they get rezzed. So I'm going to start with one of the sort of dwellings. Last time there was really just the one house, the Cheeky Pea warehouse, but there seemed to be a number of them this time. So the theme was winter nostalgia. And the first one that I'm going to res, and actually there wasn't a picture for this, so I don't know what it looks like, is the Pew Pew Haute Chalet. So I imagine that's meant to be in French-speaking Switzerland or something. So there it is. It's resing. I'll move it along a bit. I might just turn it round so you can see it's a cute chalet. Oh, there's the front door. Trying to find the front door. There's the front door, I think. And it's 51 land impact. Okay, so it's built of wood on this little, you can see there the stone base underneath it, propped up on stones. It's a nice little detail, that. And rather drafty looking front door. Oh, I should have put this lower down, but I'll try and get inside. There I am. So it's a little wooden cabin with rafters, you can see. Again, a little bit drafty at the bottom. You can see the ground underneath it, so I think this must be a cabin that needs a little bit of adding of carpets and other warm furnishings. And you can open the windows. I think you wouldn't want to texture change or kind of retint this inside because it's already quite dark wood. Do those open as well? Oh yeah, so that's a nice touch that they kind of open outwards, like you might expect that type of window. And it's got snow on the roof. I don't think there's any kind of mod that you would do other than making it a bit bigger or smaller, and you could do that. And so the windows at that side open, and at that side, and at the back, and then you've got the door. So that's the Au Chalet by Pew Pew. And I think it's just the door that's not linked. Ah, the doors and windows. So that's the first dwelling. And then a second one was Schultz Brothers Cozy Winter Cabin. So I'll res that now. So this is also a snow-covered wooden cabin, as you can see. It's 26 land impact, so that's really quite low. It's got icicles hanging off it. I'll just get rid of that. It's a nice wooden cabin with snow. It looks like it's 2 floors. So open the door. In fact, it's got a door at the side as well. So two entrances. And then nice stairway, nicely made stairway up to picture window up here. So I think this would be, I think I like this a bit more than the other one. It looks very as though you could make this into a nice cozy retreat, but it's got a reasonable amount of headroom. And I do like the way that stair's constructed. Not sure the extent to which it's tintable. No, it looks like there's too much stuff that would be, you wouldn't be able to tint the walls really without tinting a lot of things that you didn't want to tint. So I think you're stuck with this colour scheme as it is. You could, I assume, make it a bit bigger if you wanted, which you might want to do if you've got a larger, kind of taller avatar like me. That's gone from 26 to 30. As I said, the doors still seem to operate okay. And so if you wanted a little bit more room, that might be nice for you. So I'm going to see whether I can res one of the other items inside this. I'll have a go. So I was looking at, there is a bed. I'll res the, oh, in fact it is a PG version. So here's the bed. It's a bit big to fit under the, you'd have to have it, I think. Let's rotate it again. I'd want it against that wall, I think. I think if I were actually decorating this, I'd go for something that was a bit more attic-y than this. A bit more like a attic setup. But just to demonstrate the bed, this will be fine. And there's a side table to go with it, which is nice. I'm overusing the word nice here. So that's 2 land impact. Now this I think you could tint if you wanted to, so I might decide to make it a slightly more grungy colour to go with the let's see, to go with the background, or pink or whatever. Yes, let's how we make it a cheerful pink. I don't know whether you'd also want to do this. If you select face, what do you get? So yeah, so that's actually good. So you could also tint the base of the bed, and it looks like you could tint the sheets and the pillows separately. So that's good. So I mean, I wouldn't actually want that particular colour combination, but I like the fact that you can tint all these different bits separately, because that means you can customise it to your decor, and you can make it look a bit different. So if it had just come in cream, to be honest, I wouldn't have found it so attractive, but I think that makes me think this is something I might use. So I'll just spend a minute. Oops, I forgot to select a face. So I might just make that a lighter version of this colour. And similarly, the pillows, just turn them this lighter colour. You obviously wouldn't want to, although it looks like you might be able to change the texture, but I think you'd lose all the detailing, so I don't think you'd want to do that. But the colour is definitely something you can change. So I assume that this has got some poses in it, indeed, single and couple. I'll just type a couple of the female poses, and you can adjust them, which you'd need to do. So I'll stand up now. In fact, you might get an even better picture of the bed from outside. You can see it. Yeah, it's a nice bed. The next item I thought I might unpack, but it's probably more a downstairs item, are the Bennington chairs, which I saw from Stockholm and Lima. There's a red one and there's a green one. One, I forgot to do the land impact of the bed. So the bed here is 15 land impact. I'll go downstairs and have a look at those chairs. So you can see them from behind here. They're made of light wood with prominent nails. Don't think they're texture change. No, they've just got poses, and it looks as though one of them's a book pose. And here you can see the upholstery. Dark green, dark forest green, or deep red. So Christmassy colours. And trying out the poses there. Pondering life. Looks as though life's overcome me there. Long day, nervous, and so forth. The usual kind of poses. And I think there was one where you it rests a book. There you go. Right, so that was from Stockholm and Lima. I'm going to go outside again now, and I think I'll res one of the other buildings. I'll try resing it on the platform down here if I can. And the next one I'm going to go for is my winter attic. So this is a skybox, as you can see from the outside. There's a slight puzzle in that I haven't worked out how. I don't think there's any bit of this which is phantom as far as I could see or feel. So I had to do the usual thing of resing a chair inside here and then coming and sitting on it. So you might want to make, I don't know if you can make the roof phantom. Let's see. Yes, you can modify it, so you might be able to do that. I won't try it at the moment. So I like the attic-y kind of shape, but it's also big enough. I think probably of the three I've shown so far, I'm increasingly liking them. This one I think I like more than the Schultz Brothers ones we had just now. So because it's quite nice to have a space you can. I quite like having a space that's big enough to move around in. I like the two-story aspect and the big picture window. I think if you were on the edge of a lake or something, I mean this is only a skybox, so the other had the advantage you could position it in if you had landscape. It all depends on whether you've got the kind of land where it's nice enough to want to have windows or not. The houses definitely have the advantage there rather than the skybox. I don't know why I'm bothering to reposition these, but just to get some idea of having furniture in here. So you could get a reasonable amount. There's a nicely detailed door over there, though it's not. Well, that's not how you can get out. There's a radiator here, which I'm rather hoping you can unlink, but perhaps you can't, because I saw it in the teaser. And I thought I can think of places where I could use that radiator. Yes, it looks like it's in 3 pieces there, and I can unlink them from here and then link them up again. And can I take a copy? Yes, I can. So I still haven't quite finished furnishing Carrie's apartment. That's Carrie Bradshaw is in Sex and the City. I'm still doing the living room, and having a rather large radiator like that would be ideal along one wall. So I'm always looking out for things like that, where there's the kind of attractive bits and pieces that you can get and reuse. There's some nice detail here, a little kind of marble windowsill and snowflakes. Now it looks like it's actually snowflakes coming past the window. Can you just see that? That's quite subtle. So you could stand at the window feeling nostalgic, gazing out, thinking about lost dreams and so forth. So I think that's a very, very nice feature of this. I'll see if there's some more furniture. So this was from Sari Sari, and it must have actually. I'm sure it said it had poses. So I'll see whether now I've unlinked that radiator. Perhaps there were some poses in here. So I might not. Let's see whether there were any poses in this. No. So perhaps there weren't. Because they do poses, and I thought there might be, but there's not. So there's a couple of what I assume might be Christmas trees, a carriage which sounds like an outdoor thing. That's the final building, and I thought that looked amazing from the picture, so I'm kind of leaving that till last. The bed we've had. This has got a train. A winter bar cart and a winter warm set. And then there's a couple of sledges, 2 sledges. So what shall I get out? I'm just wondering, I might just res the final building. So I'll just do that. So I'll just mention that the Sorry apartment skybox is just 11 land impact, which I think is amazingly good. So if you haven't got many prims, much land impact left, I think that's amazing. But what I think is even more amazing is this nomad workshop. So this is by contrast 100 land impact, but I think it's amazing. So it's a kind of factory workshop. You can see there's lots of detail, and there's even smoke coming out of the chimney, so that's really amazing. So I'm going to fly up and then walk around inside this. So here I am at the door of the workshop, the factory, as iron doors under an iron canopy. It's got large windows. I don't think they open. No, they don't. There's a. I assume this is where you put. This is where the fire would go. So you could put a fire effect in there if you wanted, or just use it as a quirky cupboard. And over here, I think it was some kind of room. So this is kind of back room, and another set of doors. Again, I'll just see whether you can tint individual walls. Actually, it looks like you could. If I look at the texture, no, you couldn't, because it would cover the brickwork as well. So it looks like tinting the plaster wouldn't be a good idea. Then you've got, and it's beautifully detailed. You've got the wooden floor, all the iron fittings, and then an iron and wood staircase up to the second level. And there you have this kind of narrow room where you're looking down through these, I would say, leather straps probably, down to the level below. So this would be good for, well, if you're trying to role play a hard-working exploited factory workers, or a load of exploited Christmas elves, but alternatively you might want to set it up as a converted factory, because you could do a lot with wall hangings and carpets and so forth, and it would be a really nice big space for, say, entertaining your friends. I put one of the Stockholm and Lima chairs here. They'd actually go rather well. Since it's a big space, I'm going to open out some of, so that was from Nomad, 100 land impact. Oh, and you've also got a slide and conveyor belt. Oh, so you can actually, wow, so you can, I don't know, have they got a picture of how you're supposed to set this up? So, oh yes, so the slide goes from the upstairs, and then you've got the cart. Sorry, getting overexcited here. So you'd position this, the idea is it would be things being unloaded from upstairs. So up here. Something like that, I think. Then you've got the conveyor belt. I don't think it moves. No, it hasn't got any scripts in it. So you've got the cart. Oh, I see, you can have a conveyor belt on its own as well. So if your dream has always been to set up a factory, this will fulfill your dream. Actually, in terms of I'm involved in the Virtual Worlds Education Roundtable, and actually for some educators this would be a really useful prop, because it's very realistic looking and it's big enough that you could use it for several people. Could be role playing in here about a factory. And so that's 3 land impact. The conveyor belt is 3, and the combined slide and conveyor belt are 5. So, in fact, I might try setting this up as a kind of Christmas conveyor belt, Father Christmas's workshop or something, but not now. So that's everything now from Nomad, and the next item I think I'll go through are the trees. So we from Keke we have Little Winter Tree. And so this is probably something a bit more for outdoors than indoors. Although you could have it as an unconventional Christmas tree because it's got baubles on it. It's 10 land impact at the size it is there. Can you stretch it? Yes, it looks like you can. Yes, so you can make it bigger. So that's 14 land impact, and if I make it smaller again, oops, say that's gone down to 7 at that size. I'll leave it at that size. And so just to home in on it, it's got numerous little baubles, and it's an attractive little bear tree. So that's the gift from Keke. It's not a gift. That's the prize item from Keke. And then Revival has sad trees. So you've got sad tree light and either Deco, or I don't know what the difference is between one that's Deco and one's not. This one not Deco. So it really is very sad. So that's 4 land impact. This sad little tree. So that's the light version, and that's the dark. Or did I do not? Does that light? Yeah, I can't actually see much difference between the light and the dark. I should just zoom in a bit more. So the one on the right is supposed to be light, and the one on the left is supposed to be dark. The bulb was different or something? Perhaps they are. Yes, I think it must be that slightly different baubles. Again, you can recolour this. So if you thought it just looked too sad, you can. So you can recolour the branch, and I don't think I've got the right set of baubles, but you could recolour the baubles, say. So that might be something that you'd want to do. Let's see, pink baubles, and you can recolour the tin. I'm not sure you'd so much want to do that, but anyway, I always like to know whether you can mod something in some way or another, and also you'd be able to stretch it if you wanted to make it smaller or bigger. So those are the ones that say they're Deco. Perhaps the other ones have got poses in them. So not much difference between the two. If I get out the light coloured one, that yes, it's got this one's got poses in it. Yeah, a lot of poses. So, and some cute cushions, and again I think particularly with those you might want to recolour them, which I assume you can. Yeah, so you'd be able to do those together, both cushions, if you say you wanted them again a pinkish colour, then perhaps that one a yellowish colour. So if I sit there, it's got cuddles, male and female, so I'll just do a couple of poses. And the other thing that you get in with those sad little trees is the bin of lights. And so it's like literally a dustbin with lights coming out of it. So actually that's right, I think that's the thing I'd like most of all. I think I could, that's something you might want to use in various Christmas, kind of Christmas tableau. There seem to be quite a few people now who are doing Christmas lights, kind of tangles of Christmas lights on the floor, and so forth. So we've gone through Keke, Revival, Stockholm and Lima, still got Chez Moi, done Nomad, so Ariskea, and there's a myrtle plant and a garland. And so the garland you might want to have over the fire or something like that. And it's 2 land impact, and the myrtle's 3 land impact. With you, as usual, with flowers from Ariskea, they're very distinctive and well detailed. So that's the garland, and that's the very nice myrtle arrangements that make it a very good splash of colour, very good splash of Christmas colour. Oh, and I got it the wrong way round, so turning it round. So you might have this by a fireplace or in an entrance hall. What I'm intending to do is to choose a house and decorate it using some of these items and ones from the other events around Christmas time, some of the Advent gifts, and also there's some amazing things that Collaborate and Liaison Collaborative that have just come out. At least I think they're amazing for Christmas. So that's Ariskea. We've had Schultz Brothers, we've had the NARS Valerie Bed, we've had the Winter Attic, and Goose. So Goose has got a train, an Xmas train. I'll just rotate that. So that's 1 land impact, that's pretty good. So this is again something you might put on a mantelpiece. So I haven't got a mantelpiece to hand, but I'll try doing that. So you might have kind of the garland, perhaps the Ariskea garland under the mantelpiece, and then you could have this decoration saying Xmas over the top. That would look nice. And the other thing I think you cut from Goose is window starlights. So this is a set of lights. I'll rotate them around. Let's see which way around. And this is 6 land impact, and I'll try putting them up against a window. Actually, these are very nice. I presume they're not phantom, but I think I'd make them phantom so that you could also use them probably in a doorway, like a kind of curtain effect, or as here to just hang by a window. I'll just go over so I can see them a bit closer up, and you can see a bit of the detail. So they really are very nice. I like these a lot. So they've got little lamps inside the stars, and that's it's not too fussy, but it would really make any window look festive. So I think that's a particularly nice thing that would be useful. So the next item is Backbone's winter cart. I'll just stumble around these and go over the other side to res these. Perhaps I'll get rid of this particular conveyor belt. So let's see the winter cart. I seem to see that there were loads of different bits and pieces for this one, and there are. So you've got a bauble tree, they're quite small, so I'll put them on the conveyor belt. You've got a bauble tree. Okay, so I've rezzed everything out. You can get them all separately or load it onto the cart. So this is them, so you can see them all a bit better. So the only thing that does anything is the cake. When you click it, it goes. It's got two sparklers on it, and they sparkle. If I put the lights out, you can see the cake sparkling. I'll turn the lights back on. And so the cake is 2 land impact. We've got silver plates, which are 1, sparkly wine 1, candy canes 1, sparkly rosé 1, champagne glasses 3, a candle. I'll just see, has that? Oh, it looks like that. You can light the candle flame as well. That's 1. Napkins 1. A picture frame 1. The bauble tree 1, and the champagne bucket also 1. So I'll just light the candle flame to see that works. So it's all deco. It doesn't actually give food. I must say I have a preference for food that actually gives you something when you click on it. I'm not so keen on food that's just deco. So if it's linked all together as one item, it's 11 land impact, which I think saves you a few. And this is 2 land impact, so you could use this to put anything you wanted on. You could use it as general deco item. So it's metal, got little casters at the bottom, kind of brass work, and it's got the red decorations on it that make it more festive. So that might be a nice addition to your festive decor. I think apart from the sleighs, the only thing I've got left now are the winter puff drape. I presume that goes on it. Oh, a puff with drape. So it's actually a separate item. And there was something else as well. A warm winter tray. So the warm winter tray is 1 land impact, and that's just deco, and that's 3 land impact. Obviously it looks like it's got various poses inside it, as has that one. So if I home in a bit better on the tray, I'd say, and sorry, this is from Serenity Style. That's amazing detail for 1 land impact. Look at that. Again, it doesn't give food, which is a bit of a downside. On the other hand, it's just 1 land impact, and you're getting 2 mugs and 3 biscuits and a kind of towel and a chalkboard. So whether it's your home or you've got a cafe kind of set up. Actually, this, just thinking, this factory building might make a nice impromptu kind of alternative restaurant. You get them in this kind of style, so I might try dressing this up with as a restaurant. And warm knitted puffs. As I said, they've got sits inside them. Swizzle that round. And it's the usual kind of, apart from the drink, I think you get a prop offered to you. Yeah, the mug. And you can't modify this, so you couldn't tint this or resize it. So here I have a complete mess inside this. I'll just go down to the top of the skybox to res the last couple of things, which are sleighs. So here we are, and I'm just going to, there's two of them. There's the Cheeky Pea Snowflake Sledge Chaise. Actually, perhaps it's a chaise rather than a sledge. So it's a chaise in the shape of a sledge, and very stylish it is too. So it's got its 8 lend impact, beautiful texturing, I think. Lovely kind of gold quilt and cushions. If I sit here, so when I read, a book magically appears. Sprawl, manicure. I'm getting some kind of nail buffer, a nail file, I think. And read and drink, again with props that appear. Books getting lost in my skirt. And laying reading. And faint. That one didn't quite work. It's probably my AO interfering with it. So that's something that you might have indoors, or you might have on a porch. I think it's lovely. I think that's a beautiful item, actually. Then we've got the one thing that wasn't boxed, which was Florence's Sleigh. And then it's just the chamois item. So again, a sleigh kind of place to sit. And this is more closer to an actual sleigh kind of thing, in that you can see there's a blanket there that comes over your knees. Sneeze. Is that going to be a animation? Lean forward. Cat nap. Daydream. And that's 8 lend impact. So I think that's the same as, is that the same as this one? I've already forgotten. Yes, they're both 8. So both a lot of detail. I think this one looks a bit more outdoorsy. It's got this blanket to keep you warm while you sit outdoors. And the very final item is from Chamois. Was here. And that's a carriage. So this is 15 land impact, and there's the PG or the adult version were both included, and I've resed the adult version. So again, it's something where there's places to sit. It looks like there's various props that will res when you sit in there. So I go for the single female. There's 2. I'll go through all of them because I'm hoping that one of them might be perhaps on the tricycle, but perhaps it won't be. I think, is that all of them? zoom round. Very nicely detailed. Okay, and so that was it for Deco Crate December 2016 Winter Nostalgia. And as I've said, I'm going to do a blog probably next week where I try and put some of these items together in a house with other items I've been collecting from the various events. So goodbye for now.